I would like you to look at your world and to decide what you're going to do with those challenges. So before we go into a lot of solutions and a lot of answers, I want you to take a deep breath. Then I want you to ask your creator, in my case it's God, what is it with this challenge that I'm going through that you want me to know? So think of a challenge that you're having right now and ask that question. What do you want me to know? Then I want you to think about looking at the challenge. What is it that is not my responsibility? And remember, you're looking from above. You are looking from above. And let's see if I can get Timothy's to mute. There we go. You are looking from above down onto yourself. As an observer, you are not emotionally attached to this. I want you to look and see what is not my responsibility. So if it's people that are dying for whatever reason, if it's people that don't have food, or there are wants in the community, is it your responsibility to get them fed? Probably not. Is it your responsibility to stop them and to give them medication? Definitely not. Is it your responsibility to assist someone who is struggling in their mind to figure something out? Well, maybe you can help with that. So the next step is to see what you can do. What am I capable of doing? As an observer looking, not being emotionally in it. What am I capable of doing? And can I put an emotional, not an emotional, can I put something positive to what I can do? So I want you to look at that from above. In other words, look down and see. So each of you, I want today to look at those challenges that you have right in front of you and to figure out what you can creatively do to change them as an observer, mostly as an observer. And then as we do that, I want you to realize some things here. Can you all see the screen? Raise, give me a, well, nobody's got their thing up. You can see it, Kuwang, so I'm going to assume that the others can see it. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Oh, goody. Fatima and Christian. Yay, Christian. They're coming in. And admit that one. I don't know that one. Nakeenan. Akeeran. Suntheralingam. I don't know that one. Welcome. If you put your mute on, we're just going through some of the quotes right now. Okay, so let's admit all. So the first one was overcoming. Let me get back up here so you can see that challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes them meaningful. Easy to say. We're going to put meaning to what these challenges are right now. Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't do. So when you realize the power that you have that you hadn't paid attention to, things become a little different when you realize what you can do. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. So as you overcome it, because of the size of the obstacle, it makes it even more glorious. So who do we have now? We have Christian, Fatima, Timothy, Nakeen, Nakiran. I do not know you. Can you tell me where you're from and tell me who you are? You're joining. You haven't quite joined yet. I know Christian. Good evening, Christian. That smug little look. I love it.
Good
Are you
evening.
there? Oh, there you are. The
Yes, I
picture
am.
doesn't do you justice. You have that smug little look on your picture.
All right.
There
Right
we
here.
go. There he is. We just have to figure out who Nakiran is. Anyone know who Nakiran is? Nakiran, enlighten us. Enlighten us with who you are. Maybe we won't get that lucky. Can you hear me? Everybody, Fatima, really hard to manage the network. I know, Fatima, you have a heck of a time, but you're so persistent. If nothing more, Fatima, you're giving us all the strength because you'll come in and out when the silly network decides to do that. Not her choice. Well, maybe eventually by the time we're through, Nakiran, would you maybe in the chat tell us who you are at least so we know who we're working with? That would be delightful. Country and contact information. We're going to go on. We already had our thank you session, and we looked at some quotes, and we looked at overcoming some of the challenges that are around us. And I want you to think about something in your past today that I hope will bring all kinds of different thoughts in your mind. Every time I do it, I get a whole different perspective on life. And keep in mind that you can do these types of sessions anytime during the day. It's a matter of setting yourself aside, someplace quiet. Some of you, that's a challenge. There may be chickens and kids around or babies crying. And so you need to take a deep breath if their baby's crying and you have to take care of them. Otherwise, if you can find a place for yourself to be nice and quiet and just to breathe. And I also have a meditation tape where the whole tape is a matter of breathing and listening to music and just allowing that pulse to quiet you down. So we're going to look at you in your past this morning. And if it helps to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes, since I can't see half of you anyhow. And I want you to look in your past, and I want you to think about a time where you were so happy. You were so happy. You were so excited because you had accomplished something that was unbelievable, and everyone was so excited that you had accomplished it. You did it really well. You decided, oh, now I can really go on because I can accomplish this. Think about that for a moment in great detail. Who were the people that were involved? Where were you? What was it that you actually did? What did they say to you? How did that make you feel? I want you to feel that excitement. With that thought still in mind, you can come back to the moment. Open your eyes if you'd like. And now I want you to think about what it was that you did to create that moment. What was the ability that you had? What were you capable of doing that you did so well? Even if it's a tiny child, you know, maybe you walked and that was cool. Or maybe you did something at school that really everybody thought, now that was amazing. That was really good. I want you to really think about what you do well, what you do really well. Because 9 times out of 10, that's your passion about what you love to do and what you should. I don't like to should on people, but what would be a good way for you to continue on with your passion? See if it ties into what you're passionate about. Now, each one of you, now I don't know Kieran because he just came into my world, and I don't know the rest of you really well, though I know some of your, like Christian's easy to pick on because we talk all the time. Christian's passion at this point is to be able to work online to enlighten people about the spiritual habits and behaviors of different people around the world. It's a great website, so he's applying his to his website. I'm not sure that I remember what Ku Wong is doing. I remember that Fatima, she's still with us, cool, that Fatima is working with women, empowering women, giving them as much as she can to help them in the community and the world. And her power to do that is what we're learning right now, I hope, is to be able to dig deep and to find what you've already done that shows that you're passionate about something. So once you find that ability, you can now apply it to whatever your cause is. So each one of you has a cause of what you want to accomplish. I know Fatima's, and I say that's really, and because I should know yours, but I don't off the top of my head. So as you introduce yourselves, your name and country, nice and slowly so I can understand you. And then I want to know what in your country is it that you would like to work on. And the second part of that is what is your passion that you have that will allow you to work on that and make a difference? So what is the cause? What is the issue? What is the problem? What is the problem? That's best. What is the challenge? And then because I am blank, I feel I can get a solution to that. Everybody understand that? And Christian, because I know you, you're first. Unmute yourself, please. Christian. Name, country, rank, serial number. No, name, country,
My
and
name is Christian Maloba. I'm in the middle of Africa from the Democratic Republic of Congo, closer to Priska. And yeah, that's maybe the only person that's closer to me. And please come again. What was the other question?
the other part of it is, what is the cause in your country that you would like the problem that you would like to help solve, and what do you feel you can do? What is your ability? What is your purpose? What is your passion to be able to help?
I've been, these days, I've been thinking in my mind of the ability of coaching young people
Cool.
to have financial stability, like, and also in the spiritual matters. Apart from that, from the little experiences and books I've read about relationships, like between women and men, that's also one of the things I would like to share with other young people in my community, in my country.
Yes.
So those are three things that I'm hoping. And one of the plans I've got is to just be writing scripts about videos I will be sharing uh, through my own budget. I can share it through local television, even national television, teaching the young people about the things I've said. So I've been thinking about that lately. And apart from that, is just to instruct myself so that I may get important knowledge in order to help others.
Yeah.
I've been inspired by the way you are my personal mentor, and I love the way you do that. And I'd like to learn more how I can do that with other people. So that's what I've been thinking.
Yeah. You can do it well. Do you have Dr. Paula's book? You do, don't you?
I have to download it.
Okay. Be sure. This is very, very important. She has the relationship card played really, really, really well.
Okay.
Gerald over in, where is he, Uganda? Um, has been using the book and going around. Excuse me?
I, I heard him. I think it's Gerard. He said
Yeah.
he's read the book and the book is so interesting.
Yeah, you will love it. You really will love it if you haven't already. And I would hope that the rest of you would too, because her part on families and relationships and men and women, the whole 9 yards, are really important. I mean, she gets up and talks to you when she mentors you on Saturday, and that's just a very small part of what really is in that book. And she puts it so nice and clearly. In fact, I hope that you've listened to her little videos that she sends out. They have been so heartfelt, and she is so good about her stories. She does stories really well. I don't do stories really well. She has the experience in all of that to be able to bring it really forward so you can feel it. And she does that in the book. So Christian, I really admire what you're doing. Excuse me. And use that as a way to fortify and to give you new ideas. You are a guy that goes and learns every time you can turn around, you're going to want to learn something. So I respect that about you. And yes, you do have that gift to help youth. And through your church, you've been able to reach so many people. So
Yeah.
as right now, when all of you look at what you're really good at and what you'd love to change, we all know that you're not going to be able to do that right now because because.
Because
So it's preparing. Now is a good time to get your brain prepared, to get yourself prepared, and how you're going to do that. The videos, all the stuff you're doing online is wonderful. It's great. So, oh, Augustine has changed. Oh, I've met everybody. Come on, everybody. Keziah came in and out again. And Fatima, can you explain to us? I want to listen to the oh so brilliant Fatima as to from India. Unleash yourself so we can hear you and talk to us about what it
Greetings,
is that you
ma'am.
want to
Can you
solve.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Can
you.
you hear? Of course, thank God. Okay, my name is Fatima. I'm from India. So I'm interested in women empowerment. As ma'am said, everyone knows that, right?
Right.
So not only women empowerment, but both women and men. But the main thing I'm focusing on is that women's sexual harassment, the things women are facing during the sexual rape. I am a witness of sexual harassment. I have seen that, and that made me think to get into this field. And this is the time when I'm working so hard for reaching to every woman. So when I witnessed that sexual harassment, I had my mentality, emotional state, which I want to share to every people. The victim who was facing this was still emotionally weak, and she was trying to attempt a lot of suicidal attempts and all. So the thing, I had shifted her to a very better mental health. I tried to shift it. So that is the positive thing I have found in me. So I found I could change a lot of women's mentality. And in India, women are having both women and men, all women and men are having a mentality that every woman who is sexually raped, it's because of this happened because of with her permission.
Hmm. That's right.
So, so this this mentality should be changed, and this is what I am working for, and I'm still striving for it. And this is what. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's all between your ears. It really is. And when you realize that you're 100% responsible, it's a hard nut to crack. It's really very difficult to believe that I'm responsible for something that came at me. I didn't do it. It came at me. Well, your response, whatever you do in response to that is your response ability, your ability to respond. And Fatima, of all the people that I know, just by listening to your voice and seeing you, you have a way of calming, of knowing that this is going to be all right. And if that woman were able to control not only the calming, of course, that's not going to make it any better if she's attacked, let's face it. However, there may be some way to teach her that if anything like this comes up again, what are the steps to do? What
Yes,
are the things to make sure that you are out there and protecting yourself? So you, Fatima, of anyone, are you going to do it in classes? Are you going to do workshops? Are you going to do a book? How are you going to do that?
I am doing classes, ma'am. I have
Classes?
started. Yeah, I have started classes in schools with PRDC, Psychological Research and Development Council NGO. I'm the vice president of that NGO. So I have started to take classes, but because of the lockdown,
Yeah,
it had a break.
yeah,
So I was going through the classes. So at the mental state of woman, this is not happening only for women. That's the real funny fact. The men is harassing the men also, the boy child also. That's the
mm,
really a very bad thing. So that is the time when I realized I should not only focus on women, both women and men should be equally taken classes and should equally get the knowledge about the sexual harassments
yeah,
and the emotional states.
yeah, absolutely. Right now is probably the most intense time in our world history where people have had to, as I say, social distancing creates spiritual discovery. And a lot of people are not ready for that. They've never gotten down to that level. And to be with someone 24 hours a day, give me a break. A lot of people can't handle that. And that's where you get the violence. They don't know how to cope. They've never been taught how to cope. And they've never been taught that it's okay inside themselves. You're going to be all right. You have the abilities to get through this. That's why you've been programmed all your life to get you through this. So someone like Fatima has to teach the men because they don't know any other way except to abuse to get out of things. It's a fight and fight type thing. And so, yeah, when you do classes, that's wonderful. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have here? Nakiran, are you going to be able to talk with us? I think that's a no, unless I can hear from him. I assume it's a him, but I don't know that. I know nothing about Nakiran. Something, whatever. I can't see him. Okay, but he can hear me, so we'll go on. Kuwang, talk to us. Tell me your country, and then what it is the problem is, and then what it is that you're going to do that you feel you are capable of doing.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever the time is. Yeah, my name is Kwon Priska. I'm from Cameroon. That's in Africa. Yeah, in Cameroon or in the community or even just in my neighborhood, we have there are a lot of problems and challenges. And
I'm sorry. My brother just.
Somebody's talking.
Christian, did you want to interrupt her, or was there back noise?
I was trying to interrupt her. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just remember the story about Cameroon. My brother served there, was there 2 years ago. He served there as a missionary for church. So he tells me good stories about Cameroon and good food you have.
Yeah, Cameroon has a lot of food.
What kinds of food?
We have, in Cameroon, we have cocoyam, yam, cassava, beans, corn, a lot of vegetables, various types of vegetables, bitter leaf, huckleberry, green. So there are a lot of vegetables. Arrow, we have a lot of food in Cameroon.
Everything, like in Ghana.
Yes, we have like everything. They call Cameroon Africa in miniature. Like we have everything that is in other countries, in other parts of Africa and Cameroon.
Do you have palm nuts?
Sorry?
You have palm nuts?
I think they have.
What?
Palm nuts?
What is that?
P-A-L-M, palm nuts?
Palm nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my favorite. That was my favorite, was the palm nuts. We used to make, we used to call it ground pea soup or palm nuts, because from the palm trees you get these little nuts that are about like so. They're orange and yellow, and you boil them and you pound them down and you take the inside out and it makes a gravy, and it's really, really good. But that was in West Africa, and I didn't, more in Liberia, that's where I was. But so do you have palm nuts or not? It's not part.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it could be because I don't really know everything that is there. It could be that I am not seen. Because
yeah, okay.
French?
Yeah.
I can speak French. Like noix de palme.
Ah, yeah, okay, palm nuts. Oh, we have it.
Yeah.
We use it making palm oil.
Yes, I knew you must have it. I knew you must. I missed the flavor
We
of
have
that.
Yeah.
It was so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We
Okay.
have almost like everything in Cameroon in terms of food, everything.
Okay, so what is the problem in your community that you feel capable of fixing?
The problem in my community I'm capable of fixing is unemployment.
Ah.
Yes.
And how are you going to do that?
And I know that to fix the unemployment problem in Cameroon is to help the youth to identify what they can do to orientate them, even like when they're going to school, even in the high school, they should know why they are studying a particular course. Because when they know why they're studying a particular course, they're going to be working towards a career and a profession that after school, they can actually do something. Because at the moment, You can even ask somebody at the level of university, why are you reading economics, for example? They will tell you, they don't know why they are reading it. Either they are following friends or their parents say, I want you to be a medical doctor. They're there because their parents said, I want you to be a medical doctor. They're not there because they feel that that is what they would love to do. That is what they'll be happy doing. So what I'm doing is I'm working with the young people, and they're the leaders of tomorrow, and are the people that can change Cameroon, are the people that can change their family status. So I'm working mostly with the young people, orientating them about their passion, their visions, and their dreams. They should be able to identify or ask the Almighty God, why were you born? To be able to know the reasons why we were born, to actually do exactly what we're there to do, no matter how little. And they should be able to do it, not because they want people to see it. They should strive for excellence, not doing it because they want somebody to see what you are doing and appreciate. Do anything that you're doing, do your best at any little thing they are doing, even if nobody sees it. So that's what I'm teaching them. That's what I'm empowering them, making them to have a different mindset so that they'll have a different lifestyle. They can be able to do more things, empower themselves, and reduce the level of poverty that is in Cameroon. And equally, the towns are very saturated, and most young people feel that they can only make it in Europe, they can only make it in America. Most of them, you hear people dying in the Mediterranean Sea. I tell them, no, we were born here because you have something that you have to do here. So you're not out there that you'll be able to succeed. Even I tell them, even you have to go for instance, to America. Maybe you want to go to school, follow the right route, because when you see even just one person dying because of the wrong decisions that are taken, because of the wrong ideas that they have about the place they're even going to, it's really hard. It is really painful. Certainly, it is here that we can do it. And I told a young person, a young boy the other day, that you have in your village, there are not even schools. As young as you are, you can be a school in your village that can help educate other people. So, like, really, can I just say, yes, you can do that? So that's what I'm doing. And to do this, last year we were going to schools to talk to them, because they are in school. They should be able to know what they were doing in school. They should be able to focus. Like, why am I here? Am I here because my parents are sending me? Even they did send me here because that is their responsibility. Then what is my own duty? What is my own responsibility for my own life? Am I even supposed to be in school? Because some of them, I told the young man the other day that you might not necessarily be in school. Maybe you have to just know how to write your name and go to a mechanic workshop and learn how to repair cars, or you go to a carpentry workshop, learn how to make beds, learn how to make chairs and furnitures and all the like. The ones you can do that with your own best, make sure you give the best out of it, they will be able to identify that, okay, if I need a chair, I can go there. You will make your life out of it and go to school, go right up to university, spend like 14 of your years in university, come out, you are sitting back home with your parents, you don't have anything to do because you don't even know where to start. So that is what I'm doing and trying to help. And in that light, so there are some people to help people with handwork. I open a tailoring workshop that will be
Shop.
training people how to
Okay.
sew dresses. Yes.
Okay.
And doing this, yeah.
Do you
We have a
guys
lot of fabric.
do you have computers? Hang on a minute. No. Sorry, I have a 5-month-old puppy that decided to destroy all of my files. It doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Okay, do you have computer access for
In
any
the
of those
center.
students in any of those villages or any of those towns?
Well, we don't really have what I was trying, because we started last year with the program, and we were trying to build a website for students, because coupled with the Anglophone crisis in the north and southwest region of my country, that we have children that haven't gone to school for the last 4 years.
Mhm.
So we're trying to build a website that could help those who will be able to have access to internet to be able to continue their studies somehow. But we have not yet done that yet.
Okay, so the point being, I have several ways that you can accomplish what it is to help you to accomplish what it is that you want to do. My question mostly is the availability of computers or cell phones that might be possible for any of these kids, any of this youth. Is that possible or what?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay, all
Because at
right.
least in every 5 kids, you have at least 3 people that can afford cell phones with internet.
Okay, all right. Well, then
So
we have
yeah, it's
lots of
possible.
solutions for you or ways that you can empower them. Number
Okay.
one, number one is, and I'll do this, well, we still got time. The youth, the real young ones, although there will be older ones that haven't accomplished a third grade education, so they probably would fit into this.
Yeah.
That would be a thought. There is a group called Footsteps, the number 2, brilliance.com. And this is an app that
Okay.
it needs to be downloaded once, but other than that, you don't have to have web access. And it gets a child from preschool to third grade in 90 days. Huge. So that's the education part of that. The second group I want to introduce you to is a group that Augustine's working with actually in Sierra Leone. And that group
Okay.
is from the United States. And it provides or helps through the computer to have the youth to look at different career paths and gives them a program on how to do that, to be entrepreneurs or to look at their careers. So that's the second one I want to help you with. And that would be a lot more, it's a real basic computer thing. If they have computers, I don't know if they're actually going through the cell phone for that, but that's another one that would help you in that way. I really appreciate and love what you're doing as far as the
Thank you.
workshops and getting to the youth. Now, the third area that I would think of is what I found out when talking to or listening to what all of you had given as your reports is that poverty is controlled a lot by people getting jobs and having women employed, so
Yeah.
that obviously they have control of themselves because they have the power to bring money in, and
Yeah.
because of that they are more empowered. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
to get women jobs as much if not more than anything else, and Fatima can believe part of all this. And
Mm-hmm.
the way that we do that is through what I call home industries, where you are able to either as seamstress, or you're able to as a computer person, or whatever the common thing is. Maybe it's as simple as selling rice. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that women can learn to do. I'd love to be able to see microcredit come into your community, which means that people would say, all right, we'll give you a loan of $150. You pay it off in X amount of time, and then you get the training to be able to learn to be a seamstress. That kind of a
Yeah.
thing. See,
Okay. Yeah.
that's also,
Yeah.
yeah, that's also
Yeah.
what,
Yeah. Talking about the same stress, the aspect of it, because last year I bought 2 sewing machines. I'm not the same stress anyway. I'm an accountant. But my idea was to have people train to do the tailoring, to be able to sew dresses. Some that could be able to mend their shoes with time. There's a lot of other handwork that can be done. So that part of it was mostly for the women. I have
yeah,
2
yeah,
machines already
yeah.
that I bought last year.
Perfect, perfect.
Yes, yes.
That's
Towards
all it
that
takes.
direction.
Yeah, wonderful. So you have so much to work with. Keep it up. I am so proud of you. That's wonderful. So we don't have anything yet from Keziah. Keziah, are you with us?
Yeah, my laptop went on low bat.
Okay, can you enlighten us again? Remind us what country you're from and what is the problem and how you might be able to solve it?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Kazaya. I'm from the Philippines, but I currently reside in the US because I study here as an international.
Oh, okay.
One issue that I would really like to solve in the Philippines, actually there's two. It's menstrual health, empowering young girls, because actually 60% of their productivity is affected because of their menstruation due to the lack of education, knowing how to deal with it, and also the taboos surrounding around it. And also climate change, because the Philippines is one of the top vulnerable countries of the effects of climate change, most especially the yearly super typhoons that happens. And the next question was about what
You'd like to do to get that done. Yeah.
what I would like to do to get that done is right now it's really hard for me. Actually, it's one thing that I really struggle with is the fact that I work remotely, because it's really hard to be, at the US doing studies and at the same time trying to make something sustainable and have someone that you can trust. So I actually right now I'm just doing a couple of research and on how to empower indigenous women and at the same time educate young girls in public schools regarding their menstruation, and also provide them with reusable feminine pads, because most of them use plastic and cardboard, which are non-sanitary and accumulates a lot of bacteria. and and this is something that we don't talk about because we think that it is, it shouldn't be talked about because it's disgusting, because it is blood, but it's not. It's normal. Like it's part of us women, and all we have to do is, just to embrace it. And little do we know that, it affects us in the workplace, in the school.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, most
Everywhere.
especially when we also our relationships,
Mhm.
relationships with people when we have that time of the month. So that's one thing that I would really like to do. And for right now, I'm just trying to build a program that would go to public schools, educate these kids, and also tied to climate change, in a sense that the fashion industry is also a big contributor of pollution, and there's a lot of clothes that we don't use. So I'm trying to figure out a way to, gather these unused clothing and have these indigenous women make them as reusable feminine pads, and, sell them in schools at for like, 50 cents, equivalent to 50 cents in like US dollars. And I think that's really affordable. And if not, we can also give them to those who cannot afford them. But it will not only empower and educate these kids about the menstruation stigma, but it will also provide these indigenous women with a source of income, and at the same time empower them.
Okay, Keziah, you are about to embark upon a lot of answers. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I have a friend who's from Kenya. She no longer lives in Kenya. That was her home of origin. She lives in the United States. She lives in California. And she has a group, and that's exactly what her group does. She is in, I think, 3 countries. I think she actually is in Kenya, but I'm not sure. And that's what they do, is that they produce the napkins. They have the women empowered to make them. The women are getting an income because they're making them. They are reusable. They have gone through all of those challenges that you are seeing right now. So I'm going to get you in touch with her. And I don't know, you're in Philippines. I don't think she's over in the Philippines yet. I doubt that very strongly. However, she would be a good person to talk to you about ways to start what it is that you want to do and give you resources to be able to work that. Now, there's also someone in Liberia doing the same thing, and they have challenges about the facility they're using, about the instruments they're using, but the whole common cause is, just as you say, to empower the women to create them. And yeah, fashion makes sense to be able to use that material. It has to really be a different kind of material, but those are things. Let me put you over to Jerry. I can't remember. No, Jerry. Anyhow, Njeri is what she calls herself, Jerry. I will connect you with her, and she will begin your path with a little bit more research. Does that sound like a deal?
Yes, thank you so much, Jacqueline.
You're welcome. I think that will help you a lot. And since Nakiran is being very quiet about this whole thing and absorbing it like a little spy, I cannot do much to help you, Nakiran, unless I know what you're doing, where you are, what we can do to help you. At any rate, we have a few minutes left, and I am so excited about all the paths that you're taking. I hope that you are. I am so impressed, really, really impressed. And as you begin to see what it is that you're capable of, and every single one of you, slam dunk, can make that happen. You can. And realize, be aware of the abundance that you hold within your own little body between your two ears. And don't let that ever slow you down. Always think of the abilities that you have. That is so important as you go along. And I want you also, as I said to Christian, please, if you don't already have Dr. Paula's book, she will be able to help you in various parts of this. I can give you the people. That will help you a lot. And then the last thing before we finish in the next 3 minutes, what's incredibly important right now is there are 3 things that are going to get you through this whole thing. 3 things through this pandemic, this World War C, whatever you want to call it. The first thing is to protect yourself and your family. That's the very most important of all 3. That means a mask. This thing is not a joke. A mask, cleaning your hands. You don't have to use water the whole time, but at least get the soap going for 20 seconds. So protect yourself. The bottom of your feet or shoes, spray. We have something called Listerine. I make 1 part of Listerine and 4 parts of water and use it in a spray. Works really well. So protect yourself wherever you are. The second thing of most importance is for you to get your immune system up. That's the only real thing that's going to stop this. And that's your basic concept that we've told you, people have told you for all your life. You have to get the green vegetables, you have to get a balanced diet, you have to get the sleep, you need to get the exercise, and it's all about you. Nobody else. If you don't do this for you, who the heck's going to do it for you? And how can you help anybody else? Kuwang knows that really well. If she's not taking care of herself, that baby dies. So you've got to be able to do you. In other words, sure to get yourself pampered and keep strong. And that immune system is really important. The third thing, and of course the most important, is what goes between your ears. So it's what you tell yourself, the chatter that's in your brain, the being able to rest and to take a breath and to look at life from an outsider instead of being involved, and realizing that fear is only a matter of lack of understanding. So listen and understand, and then you won't fear it. Thank you so much for being here today in our illustrious little crew. I love you guys because I see the strength. And Nakiran, it would have been nice to know how strong you are. I'm more than happy to encourage you. Make it a great week. We're going to do this again next week, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, let's go make it happen. And
Yeah, I
you can do
wanted
it.
to question.
Sure.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you to enlighten me or us more about time management, because sometimes I maybe I overset activities for the day and I don't get them accomplished, or I don't know. So I wanted to help me with that. I
Okay,
think that will help me to be able to
that would
do
probably
this.
help everybody. I did some of that last time. I think Christian asked me that, but I will help you. We'll do that next week. Okay.
Okay.
Does that work? Yeah, you got to figure out time management. I don't know how you can feed the kid and bathe the kid and then do. Yeah, you're right. Beautiful. Thank you. We'll see you next week and make it a great week as only you can.
Time management. We gotta finish on time.
Yeah, I know. Isn't this great? You got to love it.